Well, we got a bit of a split squad this morning. The girls and Dad are going to the States, and Mummy's going to Windsor for a ball tournament. Now, we're all going to meet up in Windsor tonight, but the girls and I are going to go to Cleveland first. I'm going to train Militant again. Just going to set the trot and hobbles for him. So we're going to train Militant again this morning. Not fast, just 1.5 miles on the race bike. I'm going to train HL Ballou a couple of trips today. He's now at Northfield Park. So I figured if I had to go to Pennsylvania, maybe we'd get up a little bit early and I would drop by Northfield and go with those two horses, just to make sure we get them squared away for next week, because I don't know, I can't be there to qualify HL Ballou if we decide to qualify him at Northfield Park. I'm going to be in transit from Philadelphia to Northfield on Wednesday. They changed the qualifiers to Wednesday evening before the races. And Militant, same thing, is we're going to enter him in Pennsylvania next week, but Tim has told me that it's PA owned and sired first in the Meadows for 2-year-old trotting maidens, and I'm just concerned that Militant won't get in because he is not a PA owned or sired horse. In response to that, I wanted to go over today and train him and set the hobbles to our race bike so we know exactly where everything goes, so that if I can't race him, then at least we can get him qualified with the hobbles on at Northfield next Wednesday. So that's the plan for those two. Now, we had some horses racing yesterday. Pretty decent day overall. Go away, fly. He's too elusive. We'll just start today with the way it started yesterday. I forbid you. You know, honestly, I'm certain that Mike Wilder wish he had that race back. The way that filly races, she's not a first over horse. You know, he's 8-5. If he had got away first or second, I think he's first or second, the way the trip worked out. But coming first over with that filly, not probably the way to go. And she faltered a little bit late and was fifth, beat, 2 lengths? Something like that. But overall, you could see with maybe a different strategy going in, she would have had I would say probably a much better finish. That's just the way it goes. It's not the end of the world. I think he wanted to go easy at the start and ended up being fourth behind at least 2 long shots that weren't going to come first in, and we ended up in that position. So not the greatest approach for her, but that happens. I mean, I've been in that position hundreds, if not thousands of times. It's just the way the race shook out. But it looks like she is definitely going to be a player in that class. Just, again, leave and sit. You can't expose her. You can't expose her too early. And, you know, excuse me, for the people saying, well, you know, you were in the 2-hole all last week. You're right, but she was off like 2 and a bit weeks last week going into that race. So I think a tighter, tidier trip for her next week will probably garner her a first or second place finish in there. Now, the surprise of the day, somebody said, oh, the professional loser won. I said, yeah, he didn't even lose right yesterday. He got the job done. That was Merchant Man. You know, not his type of trip. Popping out and being exposed for well over 1/4 mile. I think it was around 1/4 mile. And drawing off winner. He looked good. Maybe he is coming on. He looked good yesterday. A nice win for him in 58-1 at the Meadows. I was really pleased to watch him win. He's you know, the only thing that lets me down about Merchant Man all the time is he looks like a really good horse. And when you look like a really good horse and you aren't, it's a bit upsetting. It's a bit deflating as an owner. I'm sure my partner's going to attest to that. So Merchant Man, maybe this is a corner he's turned. Maybe he's coming on now. So I was happy with him. The fillies in New York were surprising. 5 Fish Species. 8-hole in New York is a graveyard. Usually nothing good comes from that. Scott worked out a great trip. Ended up 3 or 4 wide coming out of the last turn, closing in to be second in the maiden. I assume they went 2 minutes or 2-1 or something. But Yonkers is not known for its blinding speed, especially in the maiden trots. So a good mile from 5 Fish Species to be second. Now, Winter Bells, I'll be honest, fourth. If my math is right, her last half was charted in 55 seconds. Hey, what are you barking about back there? Get some juice into you, silly butt. If my math is right, it was 55 or 56 seconds, but I really thought the way the race shaped up and looking at it from my eyes, I thought she should have maybe won the race, to be honest. Now she's got flip-flops up front. I had said to Dominic after the race, and I believe James had said the same thing, I'm going to try her without the flip-flops on. Just put a set of full swedges on her. Maybe I'll get Preston to widen her feet out a bit. But again, I have to talk to Dominic. I imagine James already talked to him last night. I'll talk to him this morning, and I think between all of us, we'll figure out a path moving forward. But, first things first, she raced pretty good for her first lifetime start. Happy with Winterbell's Cutie Cumber. The rail at Yonkers, not an easy place to navigate. Second in 59, I thought she raced rather well. For her, very, very happy with a second in that class. And then McPaisley, it looked like she was going to get off the car well, almost made a break, steadied herself. It looked like Sylvain maybe coddled her throughout the middle portion of the race and let her pace the last 100 yards, and she finished up good. Again, an okay looking mile on paper, but a lot of work to do there. I think much of the same the last month. We're going to put a little blister on her and know going in that she can do that. So not a bad night, not a bad day at the races. Merchant Man was a winner. I Forbid You, I thought raced good, all things considered. Five Fish Species and Cutie Cumber certainly did, with seconds in both their races. Winterbells, lots to work with there, a fourth, but I think she can be better. And again, McPaisley, a little bit of a letdown, but again, the mile itself was okay. We'll see if we can have her moving forward from there. There is a ton of horses racing today. If my math is good, quickly, 15. Victory Blue Chip, Vaquero Blue Chip, Memory and Imagination, Lonely Lakewood, Activation, Coupe Deville, What a Mission, Kings County is in tonight, JK Victory is in tonight, Smoking Hot Irish Girl, J Port Beach Boy is racing tonight. Marshall Zukoff's not ours anymore. Great Bet, Watch Your Mouth, and Yo Mister, an action-packed card, top to bottom, afternoon. It's just foggy out, honey, because of the weather. It'll clean up pretty quick. An action-packed day, nonetheless, top to bottom for the stable. So, with that, I'll let you guys go. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will maybe give you a little update after I drive. Why is Grantini not on this list? That's weird. I know the Crantini's racing today, too. And so is Hornplayer. So we have more horses racing than Curtis's calendar would let on. And so is Austral Hanover. When's that, sweetheart? I know. We have like 17 horses racing today. I don't know why those aren't on the calendar. So I'll bring you maybe an update after Philadelphia and after I get to race Crantini, Hornplayer, and Austral Hanover. 5 hours back to Windsor after. So we're going Cleveland, the Meadows from Windsor's Ollie's Ball Tournament. Probably give you guys an update on the way. Take care.